Boom. I think we are live. Good evening. Is there anyone on board yet? I'll tell you why I'm not sure, because if you are tuned in, you may realise this thing at the bottom of the screen, that way, is different. So far it says no one's on board, which is worrying. We're 38 seconds in. Did I not make the stream public? I not made it public. Check on me. Hey, we're in. There we go. Okay, so it says no one's watching. Ken, can you hear me all right? Can you hear me okay? All good? Right, 39 people are on board now. Okay, so bear with me tonight because I've changed the format. As you can see along the bottom of the screen is up-to-date and relevant Millwall news. Declan, what's happening? The visual should be better and more sharper. The audio's always been fine. And yeah, so sorry. Yeah, that's it. So I was trying to work out what yay, everything is Walkers means, Hen. But yeah, listen, I've got a new format. So I spent a bit of dough. Some of this year's sponsorship money, and I've signed up for this thing. And that's why at the bottom of the screen, can you see what it says at the bottom of the screen? Where it says what's going on in the news, etc., etc. Yes, something like that, Henry. So yeah, basically that's it. I have turned, by the way, as well. I'm going to tell you, I've turned on super chats. Didn't really know what it was all about. Someone said to me, turn super chats on. So just to explain that quickly, I don't really know what it is. I think you can make a contribution to the channel if you want to. If you don't want to, you don't have to. During season time, when there's a lot of people talking at once, I don't always see the comments, and that will make your comments stand out for one. Also, two, this new software I've just signed up for is £20 a month. I've also signed up for another bit of software, which is an £8 one-off payment. So, yeah, there you go. Someone has always wanted to lick my nose. Thank you very much. I don't wonder what it tastes like, but that's another question. So anyway, that's what the Super Chats thing is. I don't really know too much about it, but also as well, the Lions Lounge lockdown video. Someone said I'll put them as all as podcasts. So I signed up to make it a podcast on Acast, which costs me £12 a month as well. So I thought, fuck it, turn the Super Chats on, see what comes of it. But tonight, this is a video. There's 75 people on, and we are 3 minutes in on the button. So I'm going to get started. And we are going to talk about tonight the signing of, wait for it, these two players. Bosh. There you go on the screen. I'm controlling this all live. I'm so pleased myself. I've been practicing with it all afternoon. There's the news there. Lions duo return. Mason Bennet and Scott Malone. Bang, back to me. Mason Bennet joins the club. The 24-year-old was on loan last season. He played 9 times under Gary Rowett, scoring 2 goals. And he has signed on a permanent basis for an undisclosed fee. I did see people earlier saying, oh, he's on pay-as-you-play contract. I haven't heard that, and I've seen nothing from the club. So I'm guessing that's a rumour that's circulating. I can't see it. On the fitness of Mason Bennet, well, first things first, I'll say it's a brilliant signing. I think it could be a real prospect for us if Gary Rowett can keep him in line, which I believe he can, and that already has done since his time at Millwall. Mason Bennett's fitness, some people ask questions over it, and I can understand why. But the first thing I'll say is this. Obviously, he had that incident at Derby, and as a result, was suspended by Derby for a long time. So he didn't get a pre-season in, which is absolutely critical and vital for every single professional footballer to get the best start in the season is to have a pre-season. So that didn't happen for Mason Bennet. Then, obviously, he came to Millwall, and because we were struggling to score goals at the time, and Gary Rowett obviously rates him highly, he tried to rush him into the team. He came off the bench at Wigan. I believe that was his debut. Looked dangerous for the 15 or so minutes he was on, but he ran out of gas very quickly. And I think the game after that was a midweek game. Gary Rowett started him and had to take him off because he was unfit. I believe he'd been carrying an injury, carrying a knock since he's been at Millwall playing with injections. So the rumour goes. Don't hold me to that. But He then obviously lockdown hit. Just as he was starting to hit a bit of form, lockdown hit. Post-lockdown, all players would have dealt with that and struggled to cope with that in their own ways. The first game back after lockdown, Mason Bennet couldn't play because it was against his parent club at the time, Derby County. So, in my opinion, he's had a very stop-start season. Some his own fault, some not. But it is what it is. And I genuinely believe he's not an injury-prone player. And if he gets a full pre-season under his belt, which he saying that he has done because he started training with Derby, regardless of which team he was at, he was training and playing for. He played in a friendly for Derby last week. So he will be as fit as any other player going into this new season. Excuse me. So I don't think the injury thing is a problem as far as I'm concerned with Mason Bennet. Let's have a look at him. I'll tell you what, I love the kit and I love Mason Bennet, but he has got a face that only a mother could love, hasn't he? Bless him. But for me, he's going to be a very good player for Millwall. I can't see anything but, as long as he can stay fit, in which I've just explained the reasons why I believe he will stay fit. I think this season, Conor Mahoney is going to be a big part of Gary Rowett's plans. He's already said that. Now, Scott Malone a little bit further back on the left. You've got Shane Ferguson in and around it. You've got John Daly Bavardson that likes to play forward on the left-hand side. I think Mason Bennet is going to be a 10 for us. I think, obviously he can play anywhere along them three in behind a striker or as a striker. I think he's going to be most effective and best for us in that role as a 10, just behind, hopefully, Troy Parrott or, if not, Matt Smith or Bradshaw. So, for me, it's a brilliant signing. Of course, it's an undisclosed fee. It always is an undisclosed fee with us. I don't think we'll ever get to the bottom of that. It's been happening since long before the Tim Cahill days. So, what we do know is this. We know for a fact that earlier on in the summer, Millwall had the chance, the opportunity, a deadline to buy Mason Bennet for £500,000 from Derby. Millwall passed up on that opportunity. A lot of Millwall fans thought that was because we didn't want him. And I was convinced we was, just purely from what I've seen Rowett say about him, the amount of game time he's played under Rowett, even while slightly carrying injuries. But I think absolutely he's going to be a good player for us. He's going to score goals. And obviously in this instance, I think we've had an absolute deal, an absolute steal to save the fucking century, as some might say. So for me, Mason Bennet, 24 years old, had his problems in the past. To me, that's irrelevant. If anything, it's a bonus for us because it's led him to come to Millwall, club he clearly wants to be at, a club he enjoys playing for, and he's here on a permanent. I'm very, very pleased about that. 24 years old. There he is again, just in case you hadn't seen it, and I like to use the new graphics that I've dished out for. Mason Bennet, there you go, 24 years old, signed on a permanent from Derby County. They didn't say the contract length, but it is absolutely job done and a very good signing. I think he's going to play in a 10. I like him in a 10. He's powerful. He's direct with his running. He'll score goals, as he's proved last season. 2 goals in 9 games, which for me, for a Cam, if you multiply that to, say, 46 games, what's that? Sort of 2 every 7. So, sorry, 2 every. Well, you do the maths. I'm not a mathematician, Jeff. I'm a YouTube presenter. So I think he's going to get, with more game time, which you believe he will, I think he'll be one of the first names on the team sheet. And let's just show the graphic again, so I'm all over myself with these new graphics. Bang, there he is. Mason Bennet signs for Millwall. I will go to the comments after. I've done a little bit of what I want to do, and we'll go to the comments after. You may see it on the bottom of the screen, as I've already mentioned it. Scott Malone also signs on a season-long loan deal from Derby, 5 years after originally leaving the Den. Scott Malone returns. By the way, just a quick one. I don't think Mason Bennett's tall by any stretch, but I don't think he's short. I think I'd say he's about 5'10", something like that. And Scott Malone, bad Barnet, by the way, Scott, that has just got to go, brother. He absolutely towers over Mason Bennet in these photos. So, Scott Malone, what do we know about Scott Malone? Started his career at Wolverhampton Wanderers, came through the youth system, never played. Various loans, including Bournemouth. He ended up joining Bournemouth permanently. But then later that same year, left Bournemouth and joined Millwall in 2012, where he played over 70 games for the Lions across 3 years. Before, obviously, unfortunately, at the end of 2014-2015 season, we got relegated and he was sold, again for an undisclosed fee, to Cardiff City. Sorry, I got the fan on and it's the cold air is blowing in my face. So, He goes to Cardiff. He has a good season, good stats. After that, he goes to Fulham. He has a good season. He has good stats. He scores goals, as well as, he's a left back that likes to get forward. A new age left back, obviously, a little bit before his time as well. That's sort of, wasn't really a thing, was it? That sort of majorly overlapping, attacking all out wing backs. Then after Fulham, again, good stats. He just progressed in his career. So 2 clubs in 2 seasons. He then joins Huddersfield when they got promoted into the Premier League for a fee, which I checked online. It says, again, an undisclosed fee, but I believe to be in the region of around £5 million. It didn't really happen for him there. It wasn't really happening for Huddersfield as a club. I just stayed up the first year, but for whichever reason, he then switched back to Derby in 2018, signed by Frank Lampard, which is always a good signing because Frank's absolutely cleaning up the current transfer window. I don't think he'd sign Malone for his current club, Chelsea. But Scott Malone, let's have a look at him again. I'm not going to dig him out. I love him, but I really wish he'd do something with that Barnett because he ain't good. He might be looking at me thinking my Barnett's not good. But, however, he has signed. He is back at the club. Apparently, he said there's no other place he wanted to go. He got one phone call from Millwall. He said, don't even bother contact anyone else. I see a few Derby fans giving him shit, which is understandable. I see a few sensible comments from Derby fans on our feeds and on our YouTube video comments saying that he slips out of contention. He's now 4th choice left back at Derby due to an under-19 England international who I know nothing about, by the way. You know me, I don't know anything about other clubs' players. Maybe I should start learning. But I just like to focus on what we're all about, really. I don't really worry about other people. But yeah, he's come back. He came back, obviously, and played in 2018 against us very early on in the season. May have even been, I think it was the second home game of the season. I think we drew Middlesbrough first game 2-2, had an away game, and then a second game, we won 2-1. We was 2-0 up at half-time. I definitely remember Sean Williams scoring a long-range deflected shot that day. And he went off at half-time. He got Millwall-itis. And I remember posting something saying missing in action, Scott Malone. So he didn't like to come back to the Den as an opposition player. Now he can come back to the Den as a permanent fixture. He's signed on a season-long loan. He's 29 years of age. If he performs anything like he did the last time he was here, I'm all over it. I think, although he's aged, I think he'll be a better player for where he's been, different teams, Fulham, Cardiff and Huddersfield, and then to Derby. Whether we like or not, they're good teams in better positions than us, a lot of them other than Derby. So, and now not Huddersfield, but at the time they were. So I think he would have learnt a lot. He's had Premier League experience. So I think he's going to be a very, very good signing for us. Where does this leave us in terms of left backs? You may have seen the video I did earlier on in the week, said Post Malone, possibly he's coming back. And it's weird because I felt a little bit for Murray Wallace. I was a little bit gutted for Murray Wallace when I shouldn't think like that because I'm sure Murray Wallace don't give a shit about me, but he doesn't even know I am. So I don't know. I've got that little bit of I feel like I've got a little bit of love, a little bit of admiration, a little bit of affiliation with Murray Wallace. And you can't think like that. But what I think is going to happen is now, and it's going to lead me on to the third thing that's on the bottom of the screen, and something that Gary the Gaffuccino, let's get him in, click, there he is. Something that Gary the Gaffuccino said at London News Online, Richard Cowley on Twitter, as I always bang on about, I must be giving him some serious business. He said to Richard Cowley at London News Online, there it is on the screen right now, he's not desperate to sign any more players during his transfer window. And I think that points towards and paves the way for Murray Wallace to become the backup centre-back and the backup left wing-back. Now, let's look at centre-backs. And I'll be honest, I still think we need a centre-back if we're going to play 3 at the back. Even with Malone coming in, and is going to be first choice, I'm sure, at left wing-back. And he will add an attacking quality. If for the younger viewers that are watching that may not see him play, he likes to shoot from distance. He scores a few worldies from distance. He's very much an attack-minded. He's very similar to Marlon Romeo. He's quick. He's exciting to watch. He gets on the overlap. He gets good deliveries into the box. And he scores fantastic goals when he scores them. So I think Gary Rowett's brought him in to give teams... I think teams play against us, and they know, obviously, what Jed's about, and they mark our right-hand side as their danger side. We're a little bit more reserved down the left, and I think that Malone coming in is going to give us, especially if Mahoney can start firing in front of him or even Bennett, then that's going to give us a little bit more balance and a little bit more attacking intent down the left as well as down the right. But what was I saying? Oh, yeah. So Gary Rowett said he's not actively looking for any more players now. I think that's going to be our business done. Am I happy with the 4 signings? Parrott, Ryan Woods, Mason Bennett and Scott Malone. 3 of those on loan. Mason Bennet as a permanent, which I'm very, very pleased about, by the way. So I think that could conclude our business. And I think when I did the Scott Malone video the other day, I think I sort of may let it slip my attention that although I don't think Murray Wallace is a very good centre-back, and he is actually a centre-back, I think that Gary Rowett's now fought Coops and Hutchinson, and I'm pleased and surprised, by the way, we've kept hold of both of them, especially Cooper. I think he knows that he's got Pearce there as backup, or if we need to go to a free. You've obviously got the very young and exciting talent of Hayden Muller coming through now, and I expect him to be definitely involved in Carabao Cup matches and, you know, games maybe we may be winning by a decent amount to be involved this season, and I'll be very pleased about that as well. But I think now Murray Wallace is going to be that backup centre-back and also the backup left-back. It's good strength in depth. We do need it. As I've said, we've had lots of games coming up this season. The whole season is going to finish in May, but don't forget, we're starting a month later, so there's more games to cram in. It's 2 games a week pretty much the whole season. So our squad will definitely get utilised, the amount of players we will have, which is quite a lot now, to be fair, but I'm happy with it. So Murray Wallace, again, you know, I'm trying to stay positive, and I will stay positive. As good as I think Murray Wallace is at left-back, as much as I praised him, as much as I call him the Mountain, I think if he gets called into a back three there, or even, to be honest with you, Alex Pearce is aging now, brilliant character around the club and around the dressing room, I think that could make us weak at the back, especially if Cooper or Hutchinson get injured. I don't think it's enough, but I think now that Gary Rowett is going to go with that. I hope I'm wrong, but then if he does bring another centre-back, we've got Shane Ferguson and Murray Wallace, you know, just sitting there. One as backup is fine, but 2... you don't really need. Fergie going forward now isn't my greatest enjoyment as a Millwall fan. If he's got to play anywhere, I'll prefer him coming on and doing a job at left back. And we've obviously, I said, John Daddy Bavardson now left wing, left side of attack. Conor Mahoney can play there. Mason Bennett can play there. Scott Malone's going to get forward. So maybe Gary Rowett's no Santa doesn't. No, I don't. I'm sure he does because he's a football manager and I'm just a fan. But just for a little recap, got to cough again. I'm sorry. Let's get some water on board. Lions duo return. Scott Malone, former Millwall player, 2012 to 2015, returns the 29-year-old from Derby on a season-long loan. The attacking left wing-back, and Mason Bennett looks absolutely over the moon there. Scott Malone looks more like a mugshot. Mason Bennett looks like he's just literally, he's getting ready to do a little catalogue pose. The autumn-winter next catalogue. He's calling Mason, and you are a permanent Millwall player, 24 years old. He's had his problems in the past, but as I've said, that has just paved the way into our hands, in my opinion. So there you go. It was only 18 minutes long. It's not it. Now I'm going to go to comments. There's already 87 of them. And we're going to have a chat in the comments. 1 second. Shouldn't have had that fan on. Adam Collins says, Adams should be given a chance at centre-back. Oh, look at that. I can put the comments on the screen. Sorry, I'm absolutely buzzing with this new stuff I got. There's Adam Collins' comments. He says Wallace should be given a chance at centre-back. I would say he has. A long time ago, granted. But for me, I saw him play there a couple of times. When he first joined the club as well, granted. But left side of a free, someone said that the other day, it could have been you, Adam, actually. Left side of a free, I would. Oh, hang on. Sorry, I'm showing stuff I shouldn't show yet. Left side of a free. I'm just getting used to these graphics. Sorry. Left side of the free. Maybe, but I'm not all over it, if I'm honest. Now I'm going to show this one next. Daniel Whitnell says Bavardson is a striker who can play on the right. He is a striker, but for me, he's not the right striker. He also played majority of games when he did play up front on the left-hand side of the free, but he probably could play on the right as well. But there you go. Millwall fan says, well, let's show it on the screen, show you exactly what it says. This is decent, this, isn't it? This is well worth the $20 a month. MFC1885 said, thoughts on Tomo? Seen people slating him on Twitter. Yeah, that's a good question because I put something out in, I think it's one of my live streams or my weekly roundup shows, and I broke the clip up and put it on Twitter and said, is Tomo a 10? Some people said, yes, he's a 10. Some people said, no, he's not a 10, which is fine. Everyone has their own opinions. But then someone said, more than one people said he's not up to this standard. He's a League One player. He's this, that, and the other, which surprised me. I think Tomo's more than capable in this division. Still young, still hasn't had an unbelievable amount of game time in the Championship. So it's only a matter of time. Right, I'm just getting to grips with these. So let's have a look. Steve Lee said, that's cool. Let's get back to the beginning of the comments, and then I'll go through them. So opinions, I'm looking for, at the minute, it may lead us on to other chats. I just want to know purely people's opinions on Bennett and Malone, because I'm not being an arsehole. We do a lot of live streams and we all usually end up covering all the same stuff and all the same things. Bosh, there you go. Sorry, just to break off from that. Thank you very much, Jay Turner. The first super chat contribution. Just donated a $5 to Lions TV. That is very much appreciated, mate. Thanks very much. For those who are late coming, all these new graphics that I've got, and listen, I'm not asking anyone for anything, but I've bought these graphics and I bought a few other things. So people want to contribute to Lions TV after 4.5 years and over 1,000 videos. You think the channel's worth it, you can always do a little one-off donation. If you don't want to do nothing, let me know and I'll donate something to your bank balance. Ain't a problem. But someone told me to turn Super Chat on, and big thanks to Jay Turner because he has just been the first person to donate. And I really, really appreciate that. Rob Jacobs said, how's the walking going? The walking's going great, mate. It's going really well, thank you. Steve Lees, yeah, Steve, just for you. Here's your one coming up. My mate Steve Lees, look. He made it. I did see on the comments, Steve, you may not make it for the 7 p.m. start, but I'm glad you are. Daniel Julia says, good purchase, Lions. And by that, I'm taking it, you mean Mason Bennett and Scott Malone. There's some random comments. Right, anyone? Beck, I'm definitely not reading yours out. Evening. Oh, it's Tom here. Evening, Tom. How are you? Right, let's have a look at these comments. Let's have a look. Show. Bang. Danny Driscoll. Oh, your little photo comes up, Dan. I'm pretty sure you're not a koala, but your little photo comes up. Danny Driscoll says, I thought I heard that Rowett said Bennett's pay related to him playing on the video on the club's site. That may be. I didn't see that. I did have a little look today, obviously, when I was researching to do the show. But I didn't see that personally. I may be wrong. I think I see Steve Lee say something about that earlier on the comments. So Angelo Melito, a regular contributor to the channel with comments, he said, unbelievable, Jeff. And I'm judging by that, you mean let's read this. I'll take it. You mean the signings? Simon Amura says, hello, Dan. Oh, I thought you said I need to stop moaning. That's why I put it up. People need to stop moaning about who we sign. Got to trust Rowett. You can see Bennett is class. Half fit is better than Bradshaw. Good. This is good. This is the sort of questions we want. We want to talk about stuff like this. So, Simon, fair point. I think no matter who we signed, and not people doing these stupid Messi things with like Messi's going to come Mill or Messi in a Mill shirt. I don't get that banter. I'm sorry for anyone who does enjoy that banter. It's just not a bit of me. So, yeah, you're right, mate. But everyone moans. No matter who we sign, you will get people moan. People will moan on Twitter and things like that, even if they don't really want to moan because they just want to say something and be involved in a conversation but don't really know what to say. So they criticise or abuse. Believe me, that's what happens. So, yeah, signings people are moaning about. People, I think the only issue people have had with Bennett, if they've got issues with what happened in his past, then they shouldn't have because that's fuck all to do with us. And as I've said, that's the reason that he is now here with us and not still at Derby. Let's have it right. If he kept his nose clean at Derby and did the right things and what happened didn't happen, then it might be, he might be a player a little bit out of our bracket. I will say this for the signings that Rowett's made, and there's no disrespect to Neil Harris. Look at the players. I said this on the group chat the other day to the boys at Lions TV. Look at the standard of players, the bracket of players. Okay, only one's a permanent signing. Who we signed in this short summer to who we signed last summer under Neil Harris. For example, John Danny Bavardson, Jason McCarthy, Frank Fielding. Who else did we sign? Players that not setting the world right. Granted, Harris did get Malumbi, Bulkowski, and he can't get every single one right. But if you look at the bracket of players that he has brought in this window, they are a higher level of player that Neil Harris, I think, could ever have obtained. And I think that's credit to the way and the style that Rowett plays. I think that's credit and the way to the contacts he's got. He's got extensive contacts, especially from the Midlands area, as we're seeing. Ryan Woods, a Brummie, Mason Bennet, a Brummie, Scott Malone, a Brummie, I think, and Troy Parrott, obviously, an Irish international, a full international, has just been called up by the squad. So, also on that note, mate, Simon, you just said about half-fit Bennett is better than Bradshaw. I think they're different types of players. I'd say they play in different positions. I'd say Bradshaw's an out-and-out striker. I love the way Mason Bennet arrives late and is very composed in the box. I did like that about him. But I think, honestly, with a full pre-season under his belt, he will be firing this year. I think he's buzzing to get going at the club. I genuinely believe that. I know when sometimes players join clubs, they say, oh, yeah, buzzing, can't wait to get going and all this. Fans are unbelievable. But I genuinely believe that Mason Bennet thinks that, and I think it's going to be a very good season. Bradshaw, I'm not sure, and I've said this before, that Rowett's having him, to be fair. And it's not really understandable. I mean, he scored a lot of goals under Neil Harris. Maybe now we play a different way. He's not having him. But I still think, if anything, we're light up front still, and we're still a little bit light centre-back for cover. Knowing that, Hutchinson's not been injured for years, touch wood, and Jake Cooper's played something like 150 games straight. So, knowing our luck, something fucking stupid will happen now. Stuart Hooper is massively excited about these transfers. He's put top 2 is on. There you go, Bosh. Wear that one from Stu. Good question here from Lewis Hardy, because this ties in with the Mason Bennett situation. I think, I've seen the Instagram photos of Mason Bennett and Conor Mahoney on holiday together. I see something earlier from Dan Poor on Twitter said Mahoney and Mason Bennett reunited. So they're obviously friends, obviously quite close friends from what we can make out if you're led to believe what happens on social media. Mahoney, for me, he was very, very honest. He came out and said that he rated his season last season as a 6 out of 10. It did pick up under Gary Rowett. It wasn't really happening for him under Neil Harris. Again, I believe that's the way that we play. And I think that Mahoney... a lot of people think that Mahoney's a little bit lazy, a little bit non-defensive, and a little bit tosses it off. I definitely don't think... He may be ultra-attacking, and he may struggle with his defensive duties. But one thing I definitely don't think that Conor Mahoney does is toss it off. That's one thing I definitely don't think that he does. Because, again, I'll go back to why he signed for us. He could have gone home. He went from Blackburn to Bournemouth. He was at Bournemouth and he could have gone home. And he didn't go home. He comes to London to challenge himself. And I strongly believe that he still wants to do that. I think he's got a good attitude. And I think this season, Gary Rowett said he's going to be part of his plans. He's come out personally and admitted he didn't have the greatest of seasons last season, but he has flashes of brilliance. And I want Mahoney in the team. Again, could play on a 10. Probably a bit wider. I probably prefer Bennett in a 10. But Mahoney, I think he's a fantastic player. I've got high hopes for him. I've got a lot of confidence in his ability. And I'm hoping that he does do the business for us this season. Right. Matthew Pease says, I remember Bennett doing step-overs against Forest. He looks exciting. Matthew, that is an absolutely perfect example of what I was saying, and thanks for bringing that to my attention, because I said before lockdown he just got firing. I know Matt Smith scored a hat-trick at Forest, but I thought Mason Bennett was our best player. He was absolutely ridiculous. Just the direct running, the pace, the power, the fearlessness in his game. I thought he was brilliant, and you're right, and you're right to say that, because that was actually the last game before lockdown. So yeah, correct, and thanks for pointing that out. Let's have a look at this one. I've been practicing with his software today. I didn't realise the comments popped up as well, which I'm massively overexcited about now. Alex Smithson says Mahoney, Bennett, and Wallace. Nice to see 3 exciting players that can all make things happen. Exactly that, mate. And I think in a way, that could take a little bit of pressure off Wallace now, because he knows he's our go-to man. I know I'm a little bit critical and a little bit harsh on him at times, but But I think now, with this added people are a lot more like him. People like him in and around the team, gives us more options. We're not solely reliant on Jed, and if he's not firing or he's slightly injured, which I believe did happen again towards the end of last season, he can get a rest where he needs to get a rest, and we can get him back better and stronger than ever. I'm going to click on that because I'm not sure what it is. Oh, my God. Wow. M. Lewis. Mate, I really, really appreciate that. Someone's just I don't know how to show this comment. On the super chat, someone just donated £20, mate. That's madness. I really, really appreciate that. You said first monthly payment for the graphics. Keep up the good work. Love the live stream. Heard Scalak is doing well as a right wing back in pre-season. Good point. I read that as well. And at least there will be a final ball over the top. Oh, final ball on to overlap Marlon. There will be a final ball on the overlap. Love Marlon, though. Well, firstly, mate, I really, really appreciate your donation. Thanks very, very much for that. But secondly, yes, I read that. I think I read that today online. Gary Rowett's come out and said Yuri Scalak, when asked about will he be replacing Jason McCarthy, he said he wouldn't be because he's more than confident that we've got people in those areas that can play there. Of course, we've got Marlon Romeo, number one at the club, has been for a long time now. You've also got James Brown recently signed a new contract. You've also got Billy Mitchell, obviously devastatingly injured at the minute, but he will bounce back. And when he does, he'll want to prove himself as a central midfielder. But if he did come to it, we know that he could cover there if need be. Ryan Leonard's also played there. But also, yes, Gary Rowett said that he's been playing Yuri Scalak as right wing back in training, and Yuri Scalak's been doing very, very well. So, it should be an exciting season, mate. We need to try and utilise Scalak in some way, shape or form because, as I've said before, and it's nothing against Scalak, we're not getting rid of him. You can't get rid of him, and no one's going to take him for the wages he's on. So, there you go. Right. Ben Schofield says, Troy Parrott has got a very exciting career ahead of him. I hope he has, and I hope he absolutely pushes his way into Spurs' first team contention, if I can get the words out, by doing the business this year at Millwall. The thing that worries me about... if I had to say an area in the pitch is worrying me the most, I would say strikers. Because, as I said, but Varson's not for me. I know Brian's left the club. I don't think the gaffer really rates Bradshaw. Matt Smith will score your goals, yes, but he can't play every minute of every game. Gary Rowett said something when Troy Parrott signed. He said Parrott can play anywhere across a front three. And I thought Parrott's going to be the out-and-out central striker, but maybe by him saying that, maybe he's just trying to distract attention from Parrott. But I wasn't so sure or convinced. And for me, we are still light up front, which leads me on to John Parr. People should start putting their actual photos, or actually nothing dodgy in their photos, because that will pop up on the screen. Still one quick striker short to make a real go this season. I agree, John. I do agree. I think if anywhere, we're going to struggle in that area, if anywhere, and I hope we don't, and I'm sure we'll do well, and I'm very confident we'll survive. But if anywhere, that's where it will be, I believe, up front. Neil McCauley says Derby fans couldn't wait to see the back of Bennett. Yeah, I know that, and it's understandable. Unfortunately, for me to say that, you can understand why. The incident that happened. I ain't going to bang on about it, but it happened within their club. It drew poor attention and press to their club, and I think a clean slate was needed for everyone. Adam Collins says, I read that Bennett was available for £250,000 prior to the loan. So, well, he definitely, we had the chance of buying for £500,000 and we didn't. And we obviously got a deal on him, something we knew we was going to get. There was other interest apparently from Sheffield Wednesday, but yeah, right. Opinions on Bennett. Opinions on Bennett and opinions on Scott Malone. We've not had a lot on Scott Malone so far. Danny Curtin said it's pronounced Millwall, for fuck's sake. What did I say? Millwall. I just say it quickly, mate, sometimes. Sorry. Don't be offended, Dan. I love you. What's happening? Right. This is a bold statement, but I like your ambition, Dave, and your excitement. Dave Kingston says Mason will get us up. So I'm saying by that, I'm judging you think that Mason Bennett will get us promoted this year. We have done very good business in this transfer window. But let's not forget, people are saying, well, we're going for it this year. We're absolutely going to go for it. We've strengthened, definitely. Two players came back. Sorry, two players come back. Bennett's come back permanently. Woods has come back on loan. We've got two very good additions in Troy Parrott and Malone. But what you've got to remember is other teams around us are not going to stand still. Other teams around us are going to improve and buy and look to push. So it's good business, yes, and I'm over what we've done with it. And I think we've done pretty much as far as we can, as well as we can do. I just think a striker is still absolutely vital because I don't think we can rely on Matt Smith too heavily. We'll score us goals. I'm not digging him out for that. I'm saying, we shouldn't solely rely on him. I'm hoping Parrott will be a central striker and we'll bang a few in. He, of course, scored his first goal against Bromley in a 5-1 win. Tuesday, we got Crystal Palace at the Den, haven't we? They just signed Eze, by the way, for £18.5 million. Steve Lees, you're saying that Murray Wallace will now play in with the three centre-backs, Hutchinson and Cooper. Do you think he'll get in front of Pearce, Steve, and anyone else? I think that's a good point and a good question. Wallace will play in with the three centre-backs, Hutchinson and Coops. I've got to be honest, I don't want to be too negative. I just got to be honest. I think that could be a struggle there. I just don't fancy Murray Wallace as a centre-back. And I hope he proves me wrong because he proved me wrong at left-back. So Paul Worrell makes a very good point and says that's three proven championship players brought in by Rowett and a good young prospects in Parrott. Spot on, Paul, yeah. And this is the thing, under Neil Harris, Harris brought 10 players in last summer. I can't remember the 10 he brought in. One of them was definitely Bavardson. One of them was Bulkowski. One of them was McCarthy. Another one was Frank Fielding. One of them was Malumbi, another good signing. That was 5. Who else did he bring in? Can't remember who else he brought in, but there's another 5 players that he brought to the club. And again, a loan here, which is fine because Rowett's doing loans, but an unproven loan similar to Parrott in this instance. Low level players maybe trying to step up. I know Bulkowski come from League One, but effectively a championship goalkeeper. Jason McCarthy come from a lower league, and it didn't really pan out for him. So, yeah, it's definitely interesting to see that he's got better standard of players in. Keith Lancaster says top 6 guaranteed this season. John Parr again says, Rowett is being clever. Don't tell other clubs we are still in the market. Prices will go up. Yeah, I think Gary Rowett did say that the players that we want are still, they're players that not just we want. They're players that other clubs want, which is good in a way because we're going after better standard of players, as I've said. But that's always difficult for us, as we've seen now twice with Jamal Lowe. To be fair, I saw Jamal Lowe this morning holding the shirt up with Swansea, and I went, oh, fuck him. But is it really fuck him? Would he have joined Millwall? I believe now again, we didn't match the bid. So as a fan now, I've thrown my toys at the pram and gone, oh, fuck Jamal Lowe. He's 2 opportunities had to come to us, and twice he said he's dinged us off. But did he? If the opportunity was there and when we matched the bid of Swansea, I believe Swansea bid slightly more. I don't think it would have been much more or a great amount because obviously we're going to bang in trouble with players and money. So I believe that, what am I going with this one? I believe there is players out there that Gary Rowett wants, but at the same time, he won't be able to ransom. John Berylson won't be able to ransom. And this other than when he managed at Burton, this is a first for Gary Rowett to try and do business with no money. He had money at Derby, obviously, a little bit of money. He had a lot of money to throw at Stoke and fouled. Birmingham, obviously, he must have had a little bit of money. I don't know the full ins and outs of that one, but I believe this is why Gary Rowett took this opportunity because I think it's the first time to test himself, one, away from the bright lights of the Midlands and the Potteries, and 2, an opportunity to try and get a team together without having loads of money to throw it. And it didn't work out for Rowett when he did have loads of money to throw it at Stoke. So I think he took the job on the understanding that there's not going to be a lot of money to be spent, but money available for wages if need be. I believe Ryan Woods is on quite a good wedge and fair play to him. He's a great player. Let's have a look at this comment. Alex Smithson again says, in my opinion, if Bennett stays fit, he's a better addition to the team than Lowe would have been. I agree with that. I agree. I think, Bennett, for those who think Bennett's a striker, I would disagree. I don't know if it says that on his Wikipedia page, he's a striker, but I would say he absolutely is more of an attacking central midfield player or a wide midfield player, which I believe we're crying out for. Moving on to that, someone says get Sam Morsey in from Wigan. I think with Bennett as a 10, Ryan Leonard as a backup 10, Ben Thompson, Sean Williams, Ryan Woods and Billy Mitchell when he's fit, all as the midfielders. I'm not too sure we need another player in there now. I think it could be overloading that midfield. You're going to have a lot of players that are not going to be playing any time at all. And obviously Gary Rowett's got to keep all them happy. Paul Warsall says, I could see Mahoney or Bennett playing in that number 10 role. I agree. I'll be interested to know what you all think as well. What you all think. Do you think that Mahoney will be better, or do you think that Bennett will be better? I can't really do a vote. I don't know if I can do like a what's it called on here, like a a poll. But that'd be interesting to see. When I'll look into that and see if I can do a poll. But I believe either of those players could work in a 10. I think both of those players are going to have good game time this year. I would think I'd rather see Bennett in a 10 because Mahoney has got a fantastic delivery on him and Bennett's more powerful, slightly more direct and more pacey. So for me, I'd take Bennett in a 10 over Mahoney. But listen, this is a good debate we're having. We haven't even brought Jed into that equation there. Or even, for those who do rate him as a 10, Ben Thompson. I think Ben Thompson is wasted in a 10. I think his best work is further back, breaking play up, winning the ball, and just being a general workhorse. Sorry, my nose is running. It's disgusting, I know, but it is what it is. I'm live. I can't do anything about it. I'm not a Forest fan, I would have thought. Hope you guys do well this season. Love your channel. Cheers, Carl. Can't believe our Forest absolutely folded, by the way, in the last game of the season. That was madness. Let's have a little chat. Scott Malone. That's what I'm looking for. Not a lot said on Scott Malone so far. Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe because people know that Keith Lancaster, legend, mate. Thank you. Jesus. To be honest, I put this super chat on. I wasn't expecting any contribution towards the channel ever, but I really appreciate another tenner there from Keith Lancaster, legend, mate. I really appreciate that. What was we saying? I've read that one. Have I gone to the wrong places? Oh, yeah, I think I've gone down a bit. Oh, sorry. The comments are... Ellis Rowden says, in my opinion, Scott Malone will have... Oh, hang on. That was the wrong comment. Sorry. I think it's because Wallace is more of a likeable player than Malone. Yes, fair point. I don't really know too much about why people think Scott Malone's, got an attitude problem or whatever. But you are right when you say Murray Wallace is a very likeable person. I don't know why, because again, none of us know him, but he is supposed to be a lovely geezer as well. But I think I'm judging by tonight. New Den Lions says Malone is needed on the left-hand side as we've been weak on that side going forward, unlike the right-hand side. Yeah, I agree. That's what I said earlier on in the stream. For me, it's with Malone and tonight and the Bennett thing. I think people are more excited about Bennett. I don't think they're less excited about Malone. I just think we know Malone's been at the club before as a permanent fixture. We know what he's all about, and maybe that's why people just go, he's back, sort of thing. So. Adam Collins again says, can you see Malone playing as a winger? Can attack and defend? Yeah, he doesn't over-concern himself, from what I remember, doesn't over-concern himself with his defensive duties. Obviously, we went down with him at left-back, but we're a completely different side now. So Michael Heisman's going to have a little say on all this. He said, we are more of a balanced team now, strong on the left and right. Malone is perfect, especially if we get going to play the same system with wing-backs. I agree, mate. And I say it will take a lot of pressure off Marlon Romeo and Jed Wallace. I feel at times, as strong as we are defensively, I believe that, teams do find us. Teams must, obviously, when you do your work on the team you're going to play, you must say, well, hang on, left-hand side, we know what they're all about. They're going to sit tight and defend. Right-hand side, where we've got to worry about. This will give players and teams different things to worry about. Ellis Rowden's come with a good question. It's not to do with tonight's video, but I'll happily answer that. How many goals will Parrott score, in my opinion? Well, me having an opinion on how many goals players will score for us didn't pan out for me too well last year, because I said I saw Bavardson and Smith in pre-season, another one of Harris's signings last summer. That's up to 6, I think. I said, you'll be lucky to get 10 goals out of Bavardson and Smith combined. I think Matt Smith ended up scoring about 12 goals himself, and Bradshaw about 4. Bavardson about 4 or 5. So I would say I'm going to be positive on this one and not negative, and I hope it doesn't swing in reverse on me the way I'm dreading it might. I'm going to say Troy Parrott's going to hit the ground running like a house on fire. I believe he should start as our main striker, and I believe he should start with Mason Bennett behind him in a 10, Conor Mahoney one side and Jed the other, with Ryan Woods and Ben Thompson holding it in the midfield, and a flat back 4 if we play it that way. But by the rest of the team, and by the way, once our squad is secured and we do know exactly who our squad's going to be, I will do a best 11, a best starting 11, them select 11 videos I'll do. When our squad's finalised and completed, I think it pretty much will be now, other than perhaps a reserve goalkeeper, because I'm not too sure that Rowett's confident about Frank Fielding, and rightly so. Then I will sit and we'll pick one together. I'll let you lot pick the team. But in answer to your question, Ellis, if we score, how many would he score? I'm going to go with 15 league goals for Troy Parrott. There you go. But we've got to play him. And we've got to play him central. We've got to have faith in him. Start playing him out on the left or the right, where Gary Rowett said he can also play. Then there you go. Charles Stoworthy. Here he is, my old mate. I'm going to put his comment up on the screen because I like him and he's your mate. So there you go, Charles. Good to see you. Good to see you on the screen. There he is in all his glory all the way from Amsterdam. Ryan Woods' distribution to both sides is key. Yes. Great pass of the ball. I did criticise him at points last season, not because I didn't think he could play with Malumbi. He needs to play with someone who can get forward a bit more, because he does take the ball off the back 3 or 4 and distribute it. Again, now, like you're right what you're saying, and it will be key to both sides, but now he will have an option on the left where he didn't really, in my opinion, have that. So he may be able to start distributing at different sides, and we can give teams more things to worry about, more areas for concern on the pitch. Wow, this King FIFA streamer could get dinged if he carries on. You are a bit of a weirdo, mate, and for that I'm going to have to put you in a timeout, because I can't get having you saying stupid things like that when there's family show watching, brother. Come on, what's wrong with you? Michael Heisman says, I love this new thing, by the way. 20, I don't think I've mentioned it. 20 plus goals for Parrott this season. If he stays fit, he's a natural finisher. Let's hope so. Let's hope so. Max Tahoy. Bit of praise, why not? Top bloke, mate. Good luck with the season, the channel. All the best. Cheers, Max. Oh, Birmingham fan. Birmingham fans, how do you think you're going to do this year? It's going to be a difficult... Everyone's saying it's going to be, a weaker championship season because of the teams that have gone out. Not just the teams that have gone out, but also, no disrespect to Wickham, but the teams that have come in. I think Wickham could surprise a few this year. First season, they'll be absolutely scrapping for their lives. Not many people know how they play. We've got to try and contain them. Ian Smith says, sadly, I've not seen Bennett fit enough to get a run. I hope Robert's seen enough to know he'll turn out and turn it on regularly. I hope Robert has seen. I don't know who Robert is, Ian, but I'm sure you know what you're talking about. Good luck to you. Hyperactivity 90. So, by the way, this new feature we've got, this now just shows you what I sometimes have to deal with the pictures. Is that, it's a sort of lion, isn't it? Or is it a tiger? I thought it was a zebra at first, and I got a bit closer. And just some of the names that I'm trying to keep on the screen. By the way, when I do it on flat on YouTube, I'm using an app tonight called StreamYard, which is what I've paid for now to use going forward. And I really like it because there is lots of features, and the comments usually go, and they're staying on the screen, and I can show them. And you can also do stuff like this. I'm just going to do it again, just got can. The new signings, Bosch. There you go. Here's the new signings on a 2-shot. Here comes Bennett on a 1-shot, Bosch. And here comes Scott Malone. And there's Gary the Gaffer, just in case you fancied it. And now you're back to me. So pleased myself. And I didn't even invent it. Right. Michael Heisman, I'm going to show this because you said Jed needs to play central just behind the 9. Have Bennett and Mahoney wide with Parrott up the middle. Again, Michael, this is a thing I've banged on about for so long, but I just don't think it's ever going to happen. I don't think it's going to ever happen. So, unfortunately for me and you, I honestly think that's a great opportunity. I'd like to see Mahoney on the right. I wouldn't mind seeing Bennett on the right either, but it's an option. But for some reason, and Kenny Draper, here he is. Sorry, Ken, I did see your WhatsApp. I'm going to sort it out tonight for you, or try to. Jed in the 10. Oh, there's Evie. There she is as well. Evie's the profile picture. Quality. Yeah. Jed in a 10, Mahoney on the right. I agree, Ken, but who knows? Lewis Chapman. I know this guy as well, not afraid to wear a roll neck in his Instagram photos. How's it going, Lou? Yeah. Do you honestly think we will get Malumbi again? I don't know. I don't think we need him now. I think Bennett's going to be an attacking 10. As I said, then you've got, put it this way, if you started Woods and Thompson, centre mid, first game of the season, and you had Bennett in a 10, that still leaves Billy Mitchell currently injured, which can happen to players at points, but he's out of the equation temporarily. That still leaves Ben Thompson and, Sean Williams and Ryan Leonard. So that still leaves 2 central midfielders as cover. And as we know, as we're all saying, Jed can play on a 10. Bennett can play on a 10. The loans, I'm not always overly thrilled with, if I can get my words out. But this season, I will make an exception because obviously the coronavirus, there's absolutely no money on offer. And I think we've done astoundingly well. Astoundingly, not outstandingly. I sort of comboed the both there and put astoundingly. We've done really well so far. Very, very. New Den Line says Jed in the 10. Millwall later says Jed in the 10. Mahoney right, Bennett left. I think there is options. Robert Cook. Absolute legend, mate. Really appreciate that for donating to the channel. I'll be honest. Someone said to me, you've got to have the super chat on. I didn't even know what it was. Benjamin Bloomat said to me, you've got to have the super chat on. When Lee's got promoted, someone donated £100 to him. I said, I don't even know what super chat is. He said, just switch it on. And don't even mention it, which I did at the very beginning. But since then, people have been donating for fun, and I do really appreciate that. And it will only go back into the kitty to make things better. Like this live stream, I think has been better tonight. The visuals better, the graphics are better. We've got things going on the bottom of the screen. So I'm well happy. Thank you very much. I do appreciate the support. There's 200 people watching. So yeah, thanks a lot. Right. We've been going 53 minutes. Oh, someone's saying about the super chat notifications. I will have a look at it. I was messing around with this for hours earlier, just trying to get it right for tonight. This is a very good point. Paul, again. Well done, Paul. You're on fire tonight. I think that's the third time you popped up. Scott Malone will benefit with help on his defensive side of his game with Gary Rowett. Let's hope so. I know what you mean, because Gary Rowett was a right back in his career, was a full back, and he has helped Marlon Romeo a great deal with his defensive duties. But I think Malone's 29. I think he might have learned anything he needs to learn. Although you're never too old to learn, I think Malone may already be that little bit more of a complete player than Romeo defensively. And going forward, that's why Rowett's brought him in to be more attacking, obviously, on that left-hand side. So he will have to defend. He will have to do his duties. But I think you're right what you're saying. I think a lot of players have improved under Rowett. You know, we've seen Ryan Leonard improve under Rowett. We've seen Marlon Romeo get better under Rowett, amongst others. We've seen a couple get a little bit worse as well, like Tom Bradshaw. But, yeah, it's... excuse me, coughed again. It's going to be an exciting season. I'm excited. There is a big injection this season, and what I've always said we've lacked is of attacking intent and pace, because That's what we need more of. We only had a couple of players that could do that. Mahoney, if he was on his game, and Jed, if he was on his game. Now, I think added to that, we've got Bennett and we've got Scott Malone to come in and be pacey and powerful and aggressive. Troy Parrott as well, you can include in that. Although I'm looking at more in this instance pace. Pace and direct running at back fours. So it's going to be an exciting season. This has nothing to do with football or Lions TV, but I'm going to put it up. And Buds Up C. Why don't you people call themselves like Michael F or something? I don't know, something normal. Was you in a snooker club the other day? It depends what snooker club, mate. If you're talking about Petts Wood, yes, I was, and I spanked my mate 4-0. Thought I'd get that one out. And I'll be playing snooker again this weekend in the Cotswolds. I'm looking forward to that. Charles Stolworthy again. When I say Stolworthy, it's Stolworthy, isn't it? Sorry. Sometimes I talk too fast and I don't get things out properly, like when I've upset someone else earlier on when I've said Millwall. I know it's Millwall. I know that. I was actually in, I went through Millwall earlier on, Mudshoot Station. Reminded me of the old Docks to the Den days. What 3 weeks that was. So Charles says, I like Bennett. If Rowett can adapt his training for fitness and durability for 90 minutes, he gives quick defence into attack. That he does. That's a good point, Charles. He can carry the ball out for defence, and what you can do in that instance, you can drag the rest of the team up with you. We're getting towards an hour now. I'm going to finish it soon because my throat's itching and I keep having to cough. But Junior Drive says automatically on the cards, it's going to be a top 6 finish. MFC 1885 says, are we playing Southend tomorrow? I'll show you one, give me a little bit of abuse in a minute. Are we playing Southend tomorrow? I don't know. I haven't heard anything. Although we did say we're going to play 2 friendlies. One last week, which we did behind closed doors, and one this week behind closed doors. We haven't played one as of yet. And tomorrow is Saturday. Jesus, tomorrow is Saturday. So, yeah, difficult one if we're going to play a friendly on a Saturday. I know we've got Crystal Palace Tuesday behind closed doors at the Den. But Southend tomorrow, to answer your question, I've not heard anything as of yet. To show a little bit of abuse for me. Dave Fingway George. Prefer the Ronnie Craze to the Deirdre Barlows, Dan. You're referring to my glasses. Think you've had a mare down Specsavers. Maybe I got lost and because I didn't have glasses. Maybe I got so blind I got lost and wandered into the wrong one. I quite like the old Deirdres. Although the Deirdres, I'll be honest, don't look as good with a tracksuit. But this tracksuit is so comfortable. Just love sitting around in it. Right. Show this comment. Neil McCauley again says, shame about Billy Mitchell's injury. Good luck to the boy. Massive shame for Billy. Gutted for him. Absolutely gutted for him because he works his nuts off to come from the youth team into the 23s. Absolutely bypassed the 23s. And now he's firmly in that squad, regarded as a first-team player by the manager, by the players. And it's, it's an injury. There's no good time to get injured, but it's a very... Well, if you had to get injured at any time, you'd probably say the last game of the season, wouldn't you? So you've got the whole summer to recover. They didn't have a summer, the players, did they? And he's done his leg, his hamstring injury in the last run of the day. So big shame for Billy. But I'm sure he'll come back bigger and stronger and better than ever. Right. Anthony says, hello, Dan. What's your opinion on Lowe going to Swansea? Think he would have been a good signing for Millwall. Well, he's gone. So we don't dwell on it too much. And like I said earlier, I actually thought, I thought, oh, fuck him. He didn't want to come to Millwall. But I reckon he might have done. He's from North London. He might have favoured a move down south. And we don't know the ins and outs of the situation and what's happened. I think he'll be a good player for Swansea. I think he did all right for Wigan, really. Considering the state they was in as a club. I would have liked to have seen him down at Den. Yes, again, because although we've got ample cover now for Jed, really, because anyone can play along that front three, as we said, Mahoney, Bennett and Jed can all play left, right or central, then yes. But I would have liked to have added Lowe into that addition and definitely add him on the right and then definitely put Jed in contention more of a 10. It's exciting times in Millwall. I don't remember us having a squad this strong for a long time. Don't forget, we've had good, strong squads in Morrison and Gregory, and Abdu and the like. But what you've got is you've got now, we're in the Championship. It's our 4th season in the Championship, established team, and we need to be better than ever. And I believe we are. I think it's very exciting times at the club. I'm over the moon with the work that John Berylson's done. I'm over the moon with the recruitment that we've done, that Gary Rowett's done. No, it was a little bit of a hoo-ha about this Alex Aldridge leaving. Not really bothered, to be honest with you. I think, no disrespect to Alex Aldridge, I don't know what he did for the club, but I'm just saying that for people like Alex Aldridge and for people like me, which is where Alex Aldridge stemmed from, something similar news at Den, we can give our opinions all we like. When it comes to football, we know fuck all in comparison to the people like Gary Rowett. And I think that Gary Rowett knows the players, type of players that he wants. He knows what's best for the club. And yeah, there you go. Listen, Mike Williams just donated a tenner, mate, to Lions TV, and I really, really appreciate it. Keep up the good work, Dan. Class channel buzzing for this season. Bennett and Malone, brilliant signings, top 6 all day long, says Mike. Brilliant comments, Mike, and I really appreciate. I'm actually a little bit, wasn't expecting Steve Lee's fiver, legend. Steve, you're already a Patreon, mate. You should be putting more. But wow, this is this is a little bit special. The amount of contributions we've had. But again, like I say, listen, we're getting better stuff now. I need more lighting, really. I'm still not over the moon with the lighting. So with the money that's coming today, I've got a production light up there. I'm going to buy another production light and get a little bit lighter. I don't know, what do people think of it like it is? Because I just think it's a little bit dark. And when I did it with Benjamin Bloom, that's another thing I bought earlier. I bought a thing called Web Designer. Web Designer or Web something. And it basically helps you sharpen the picture on the camera. It was like £8. I got it off the App Store. It helps you sharpen the picture on the camera and you can lighten it and all that. It has got a bit better, but I still think it's a bit dark. Or does it look better that it's dark with the Lions TV lit up in the background? Maybe I worry too much about stuff like this, but it's definitely a better standard of stream, I would say. Lucas Wright. Lucas Wright. Michael Heisman says, you like it like this, yeah? I said that to Benjamin Bloom. I said, is it too dark? And he said, no, it looks good like that. You should leave it like that. Lucas Wright says, where do you think we will finish this season? That is a good question. Good question, Lucas. Again, I don't want to be negative at all. I honestly think we're a force to be reckoned with in this division now. I think we've lost that tag of, we are, we're this and we're that and we're, Millwall, what's it called? A yo-yo side. I don't agree with that. Although it has happened, in my mind, we're a championship club. In my mind, and I believe that the club believe that now, and I believe that Gary Rowett's had that problem with the mentality of the club. He doesn't like that Gary Rowett. He's come out and said it. People need to start believing. We're a force to be reckoned with, and rightly so. And it's the way we've gone. The reason we are now where we are is because we've gone about our business in the right way. We've just been very slowly, But if you watch the video of Benjamin Bloom, please do, because he realises and says things that I never thought of, which puts me to shame a little bit. But the thing with his parachute payments and clubs that go up and come down and almost double go down. Look at Hull, for example, absolutely finished because they was in the top division and they spent big to get there, and then they spent big to try and stay there. And this is not a coincidence what's happened. This has happened over a very, very sustained period. We've done the right things very, very slowly, and we might moan at times. Ian Smith, like contrast of an Amsterdam knocking shot. I wouldn't know, mate. I've never been to one Amsterdam or two in one of those establishments. You'll have to, you know more than I do, obviously, but I know what you mean. We're doing things very slowly in the right way. And it's no coincidence that we have landed at this point now, 4 seasons established in the Championship, and doing very, very well. And it's all praise to the club. It's all praise to the people behind the scenes at the club. John Berylson as well, the chairman, of course. Steve Kavanagh, who came in and took over from, was it Andy Ambler? So Ambler would have done good work before him. And we are now in the best position we have been in a long time. And Lucas, your question's still there because I'm stalling on answering it. Where do you think we'll finish this season? I think we'll finish comfortably in the top 10. I think we'll finish top 10. Possibilities of making the playoffs. The only thing that's saying to me we won't make the playoffs is I think we're completely dependent on, and that may be unfair to Matt Smith, we're completely dependent on Troy Parrott to fire. This is a good question. Rob Cook, were you surprised by how well Harris did at Cardiff? No, I wasn't. Was I? No. Listen, if you look at the stats, right, of what Neil Harris did at Millwall, I think he is has the biggest win ratio of any Millwall manager ever and player goals-wise. I'm not surprised what he did, but although as much as we say we want to see just kick bollock and bite at Millwall, cheers, Lucas, and what something and the other, I think regardless of that, it did become very tedious to watch. And as much as we want our team to survive, yes, we do also want to see a bit of competitiveness, which we always had under Harris, but a little bit. I think it's the first time ever a Mill crowd's gone, we need to see a bit more here, just quality-wise, I believe, because we didn't. In the end, under Harris, it was so mundane and dull to watch, but he was still getting results, and he walks absolutely the right time. Now he's gone to Cardiff, and they've cut. I mean, he took over from Neil Warnock, who wasn't dissimilar to him in style, but he is. He's now. I mean, I was watching him in the playoffs, and it pops up on the screen. Neil Harris, and it pops up. Cardiff have won more away games than any other team in the division since Neil Harris took over. You know what you get with Harris. You're good. It's not going to be pretty, but you're going to get results. It's going to be dull at times. It's going to be defensive. It's going to be smash, crash, bang, wallop, hit him on the break. But you're going to get results, whether it's exciting or not. So, am I surprised to see Harris do so well? No. Do I think he'll do as well next season? No. I don't think he will. Positivity from Alan Cork. This is going to be our season. I think we are going to be promoted to the promised land. Well, Alan, I hope you're right, brother. I really, really do. I think Harris is actually a good manager. His stats were amazing, really, says Michael Heisman. He did what he could with what he had, in my opinion. Having said that, if you watch Cardiff, don't play like... Yeah, exactly. They play exactly like us, mate. They play exactly like us. Okay, right. So, I'm probably going to end that there, if I'm honest. I've really enjoyed that. It's been an hour and 5 minutes long, and I don't want to do overkill, and it is a Friday night. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. Just going to remember your comment on the screen, Michael, because I can't find it to get rid of it. But thanks for watching. You've now got my opinions on the situation with the two new signings. These videos sometimes veer off, don't they? And they become about other things. But it's fine to have a chat. I just try not to answer the same questions loads and loads of times over and over again every week. But there you go. It is what it is. So I can't find that. So it's going to end with Michael Heisman's. Oh, I'll tell you what. It ain't going to end with that, Michael. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to who do you want to see a picture of? Let's end it with a picture of the new signings, which is what this video was about. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please let me know what you think of Scott Malone in the comments below. What you think of Mason Bennet in the comments below. I did this video as well because if you saw the video I put out about should Malone come back, I didn't really know what to say. I didn't have an opinion for the first time. I couldn't decide. I sat on the fence. So I am pleased. Now he's back. I am pleased, and hopefully Murray Wallace will still get game time as cover for Malone, or as a centre-back, not so much. But if that's what Rowett wants, then I'm all for it, because Gary the Gaffer is taking us definitely in the right direction. It's a very exciting transfer window, although 3 of the 4 have been loanees, and 2 of those players we've seen before. 3 of those players, including Malone. So not the big major transfer window we had last season, but again, better than ever. It's in one with Gary the Gaffer. Boom. There you go. And Michael Heisman's comment's still there, because I can't get rid of it. But there you go. I hope you've enjoyed this live stream. Honestly, I can't thank people enough that donated. I honestly wasn't expecting that. It's really, really appreciated. We'll do more live streams. I'm going to do one shortly with what do we want? There's me again. The select 11s. We're going to do the starting 11 next week once we've got all our players, and we'll sit there. We'll get the whiteboard out, and you will choose your starting 11 for the first game of the season, which is a week tomorrow away against Crawley in the Carabao Cup. The following Saturday, we're back in business at the Den. Lee Gregory comes to town. Trying to talk too fast again with Stoke. But thanks for watching tonight again. Thanks for everyone that commented. I hope you enjoyed the new format. This is going to be sticking around with us now. Massive thanks to everyone that donated to the channel. It will go towards more lighting on this occasion to make me a little bit less Amsterdam place that Ian said. Thanks for watching. That's it. You won't see me in the weekend. I'm off to the Cotswolds for a bit of me time, and then I'm doing a bit of filming in Bristol on Monday. So the next time you will see me will more than likely be Tuesday, unless we sign a big player and I'll do something on the road. But other than that, have a good weekend, and please subscribe to Lions TV. Go on, Gary the Gaffer. Come on, you Lions.